don't cry. Sometimes I wonder why it takes so long for evil men to die. But I want you to know that when you go, you won't be missed. And the ground where you're laid, we're all gonna take a big giant piss. And for your end, we all anticipate, without any love and too exhausted to hate. Your long-lasting legacy will be one of disgrace and shame. Throughout the annals of history, your name will shrink, you'll lose your fame. And as you lay there drawing in your final breath, just know that you made us happiest in death. You will not be thought of kindly, and you won't be missed. And like I said before, on the ground you'll lay, I'm gonna take a big old piss.
That C-32A plane separately using external stairs, which means people could see him boarding it. And you write that this is part of an attempt to make the flight appear typical. That's a plane that typically other VIPs, cabinet members would fly on. Do we know who else, if anyone, was on that secret plane with the president?
I can't speak at the moment with any specificity to who else was aboard that plane. But yes, Secretary Hegseth, I'm told, went up the external stairs, deliberately so, as a part of a larger plan to make it look like he was the senior official on that plane. The C-32s that they used that day are commonly used. The vice president uses them. The president uses them on occasion domestically. I have flown on C-32s in the past with general officers. It's not uncommon to see VIPs on that plane. But obviously, when you have even the usage of an Air Force One call sign on a plane that the president is not aboard in that moment, that's remarkable.
Well, and that's actually a really good point, because typically the understanding is that any plane, any aircraft the president is on is Air Force One, or any helicopter that he's on, that's technically Marine One. But you said that the one that he was actually flying on had a nondescript call sign, while the other plane that everyone thinks he's on is still considered and still the call sign of Air Force One.
Yes, that's right. And then as we kind of backtrack some of the publicly available flight tracker data on this, you have the Newark jet from Qatar that landed with a relatively nondescript call sign a couple hours in advance in Britain. The C-32 simply did not show up in flight tracker data at all, at least in the publicly available information we had. And the Air Force One jet landed with the Air Force One call sign, despite the president not being aboard. There's a serious shell game of sorts that occurred there, to keep the president safe.
It's a coward idiot Trump. I'm sure you've seen the video of him being smuggled out of Air Force One in a catering truck, because, he runs his mouth about how he defeated Iran, and they're just begging for a deal, but yet he's got to run and hide. And oh, by the way, leave the press corps and our airmen and everybody else to fly out when he's hiding from said attack. Yeah, this is old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. I really do. I hope you're having a good cup of coffee today. But on top of that, while Trump's running off being a coward, well, we get announcements that beef prices are going to increase, to rise and stay high because of the drought. The whole global warming thing that we warned them about, that it would intensify weather cycles. Well, here we are in an intensified drought. So ranchers can't expand their herds. They can't, capitalism, supply, demand, they can't increase the supply. And the demand's not going away unless you've decided to go vegetarian all of a sudden. You know, it is what it is. These people will do nothing, will work on nothing, will try to solve no problem. They'll try to solve fake problems to graft and steal. We have bulldozers and track hoes destroying Big Bend. It is down here in Texas. It is one of the gifts of nature. It is a beautiful, beautiful desert. They're creating an ecological disaster in Big Bend to try to solve a problem that doesn't exist in Big Bend. It's a desert. There is no human trafficking happening down there. This is so that Trump can hand one of his buddies a multi-million-dollar contract to build something that's completely unnecessary, that is going to be an ecological disaster because nature doesn't care about your borders. It doesn't. They're constantly screwing up. They're constantly grifting. They're constantly stealing. And then you have Republicans. You know, I'd like to think that some Republicans that were just dumb are starting to realize what's going on. But I don't have a lot of faith. I don't. I don't have. They're just bad people. They are. They're just bad people, and we are not the same. We aren't. They're attacking James Tallarico on his faith. The man was raised in the church. Over Paxton, the criminal. Jeez.
We are getting screwed. Whether you're a little more conservative or a little more progressive, we're all getting screwed. None of us can afford groceries. None of us can afford gas. None of us can afford health care. The billionaire mega donors and corporate special interests that are buying the system, that are buying politicians like Ken Paxton, they don't care who you are. They don't care about your politics. They only care about their profits. They don't see us as Democrats and Republicans. They don't see red or blue. They see green. They see us as a group of people they can rip off. They see us as one opposing team, so we might as well start acting like one. It's time for us to come together across all these manufactured divisions so that we can take on the people at the very top who have been screwing us over for far too long.
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy.
Whatever he does, he accuses everyone else of doing. The man cannot tell the truth, but he combines it with being a narcissist. A narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
And my concern is that he would grab up that power and really treat the country as sort of his little bully fiefdom.
Donald Trump is everything I taught my children not to do in kindergarten.
He's been exploiting working Americans for 40 years.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
He says he's for the little guy, but he's actually built a lot of his businesses on the backs of the little guy.
You know, Donald Trump the other day said that, it, quote, if he tells a soldier to commit a war crime, the soldier will just go do it.
And I don't think Donald Trump has even read the Constitution, knows what's in the Constitution.
A toxic mix of demagoguery and mean-spiritedness and nonsense.
I just cannot support Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is a delusional narcissist and an orange-faced windbag.
Donald Trump is a con artist.
He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies practically every word that comes out of his mouth.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office.
Would you ever move to America?
No, never. No.
No interest in moving there. It's a complete hole.
No, because I am transgender.
You'd step over there and you already lose like 10 of the rights that you have here.
It's a disgusting
place. They've got no NHS whatsoever. It's an absolute dump.
They just think they're the best. They're like, oh my God, we have freedom, but most other countries have freedom.
I don't like the culture, whether it's tipping, guns, the thoughts on abortion.
If you're dying or having a baby, why you got to pay for it?
There's nothing about America that I think I would prefer over here.
You don't have like free speech at all there.
I wouldn't last a minute over there, I don't think. It's definitely stricter over there than it is over here. 1000%. If I was to go anywhere in America, it'd be like maybe like Canada.
Medicare free and universal if you increase taxes. So if you are elected and make this push, would you need to increase taxes?
As I've said across this campaign, I am for taxing billionaires their wealth.
What about people who make less than $1 billion and less than $1 million, though, Dr. El-Sayed? What about people making less than $1 million?
So for the average person, and you look at your W-2, if you're an employee who gets paid every 2 weeks or 4 weeks, after you pay your taxes, the next biggest check that comes off the top of your pay stub is to your health insurance company. So imagine instead of paying that to your health insurance company, whose CEO makes $20 million a year, instead you paid a little bit more in taxes for healthcare that you wouldn't lose if you lost your job or turned 26 or got married or got divorced. I think all of us would be a lot more interested in that kind of a system if we knew that our healthcare would be free at the point of care and would be free without having to worry about losing it in general. So there's an opportunity here, I think, to trade what we give to a big corporation who gets to decide who we get to see and who we don't for a little bit more paid into FICA. And I think that's a trade that's worth making. I think the broader public understands that that's a trade worth making, considering how many people are holding medical debt, a third of all Michigan households right now.
Just to be very clear, you're describing this trade-off. You are effectively acknowledging that people making less than $1 million could see their taxes go up. I just want to be very clear. Is that a yes?
I'm saying that we'd be paying for healthcare in a different way. Instead of paying a health insurance company whose CEO makes $20 million, I would much rather pay for durable healthcare into a government, which, of course, we all know provides healthcare for seniors who need healthcare the most. So if I'm trading paying a CEO to make more money or paying government to guarantee me healthcare,
I saw polls today on television say Donald Trump polls on the economy aren't good. The economy is the greatest economy we've ever had by far.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Out of touch with reality.
It's just irrelevant.
I thought it was disgusting.
Crazy.
It's completely out of touch with what I know of what I experience and what most people I know experience on a day-to-day basis with how the economy is.
How would you describe the state of the economy right now?
Not very good.
The state of the economy is slipping.
Are you kidding? What are gas prices? I don't know what world he's living in. It's really unfair and it's unrealistic.
The worst. I
I'm an immigrant. I came here back in 2016, and I can tell you that it's been crazy. Everything is expensive.
I just heard him the other day, another soundbite talking about everyone's 401k. That's a different world. Our economy, as we see it, regular people, it's tanking.
Kamala Harris endorses Abdul al-Sayed, and there's a bunch of leftists online who are losing their mind. Are you serious? Are you paying attention? So listen to me, follow. You are upset with Kamala, rightfully so, because she stood by Israel and refused to denounce the genocide. Got it. I understand that. Abdul al-Sayed, in plain language, denounced the genocide and said, fuck Israel, basically. So when Kamala Harris endorses Abdul, that is her abandoning her beliefs. That isn't Abdul abandoning his. Are you guys okay? I think you might need to get off the internet and go touch grass. Maybe because I'm old enough to remember the world before the internet, I can think with nuance. So this guy's running on a platform of Medicare for all, money out of politics. That's a good platform. So whoever the fuck endorses him, good, fuck it. That's good. Whatever puts him closer to being in office, that's a good thing. And here's the other thing. Here's the other part of it. I'm pretty sure Kamala is just gearing up for a presidential run. She wants to make a second run for president. That's all. She wants to enter the primaries. You got it? She wants to be in the race for the 2028 presidential election. That's all. And I think that part of her platform, this is my opinion, part of her platform is going to be to try and to appeal to the more progressive left, which is clearly winning all the primaries and elections across the country. And she realizes that to do that, she needs to recognize the genocide happening in Gaza and condemn Israel's actions. She realizes she has to do that. Whatever gets ultra progressive candidates into office, let's do that. Now, do I recognize that Abdul said he's a capitalist? I do recognize that. Do I recognize he's not a DSA candidate? Yes, I recognize that. But I also recognize that he calls out the genocide for being a genocide and calls out Medicare for all as the way forward and says, let's end Citizens United, gets money out of politics. I think sometimes on the internet, you're just trying to be way too fucking edgy for your own good, and maybe you need to take a step back, have a cup of coffee, and realize, the world we live in. Sometimes y'all motherfuckers just trip me out, and no hate to anybody. I love all you motherfuckers. But what the fuck are you doing?
Where the fuck is Senator Mitch McConnell? Congressman Neil Dunn? Find out in the latest installment of my new hit series, Are Mitch McConnell or Neil Dunn Still With Us Now? Turtle Dunn Watch, day 57. According to Alicia McMillan, this box was spotted just inside Mitch McConnell's door. That's the box for an N-Combo power lift recliner. These kinds of power lift chairs are extremely helpful to many of the patients that I see. And many times I've recommended that they get something like this to assist the patient with the sit-to-stand movement. But until Mitch McConnell releases proof of life, this is all bullshit, including the doctor that's come and gone from his house, the home health aide that's come and gone from his house. The motherfucker is a sitting senator, and he needs to prove to the American people, the taxpayers that pay his motherfucking salary, that he's still alive. And I gotta remind you guys, I am a home health physical therapist. These are the kinds of patients I see all day long. If Mitch McConnell was well enough to get out of the hospital and go to rehab, he was well enough to pick up the goddamn phone and prove that he's alive. There's still no record of Congressman Dunn voting on the House floor since July 22nd. And even then, there's no confirmation that he was physically there to do so. It's more likely he had a member of his staff use his key card at one of the 40 or so voting machines on the House floor. He's probably unconscious in a hospital. This is all very useful information in trying to answer the question, are Mitch McConnell or Neil Dunn still with us now? Thank you for your attention to this matter.
And, there was a great poll question, feelings on Trump and Iran, handling Iran. Back in July of 2024, 53% of voters who said they were extremely motivated to vote said they were actually confident that Trump would be able to handle the situation in Iran. Look at where that number is now when it comes to his approval among the same group. Just 29% of those who are extremely motivated to vote in these midterm elections approve of the job that President Trump is doing on Iran. That is a giant fall. I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about a 24-point fall in just 2 years. What was an advantage for President Trump going into the 2024 election amongst those who really wanted to turn out and vote has turned into a tremendous disadvantage this time around. Promises were made and promises were not kept. They were broken as far as those voters were concerned.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, because he would go on the stump and talk about Iran because it was a net positive issue for him now. Now it is a very negative issue for
Republicans wish he would keep quiet about it.
$400 million Qatari plane, that's not a $400 million gift. Cost you $936 million. That was what was appropriated as he's cutting food stamps and cutting your Medicaid. He put $1 billion in the Pentagon budget to retrofit his private plane because that's going with him after the presidency. That has happened on our watch. Yeah. The whole tariff issue. I was just having a conversation downstairs with a reporter about tariffs. What did all the tariff deals have in common? What did the deal have in common in Vietnam when he lowered the tariff rate 26%? They improved his golf course. This board of peace in the Middle East, that's so he can get a piece of the Middle East. That's what's going on in this country. The Witkoff family, the Kushner family, the kids, that's happening on our watch. Come on, Democrats. We need to step up our game, and we need to fight fire with fire.
We have a crisis that's causing our fertility rate to drop below 1.5. Replacement rate is.
I've been a deputy here for the Southern County Sheriff's Office for about 3 years.
God damn, we're fucking cooked. This is the fucking fucking white people.
It's time for the trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Alrighty. It's 11:27 a.m. Pacific time zone. And it's currently only 99 degrees Fahrenheit here out on the outer rim, otherwise known as Boulder Highway. Our high today is only going to be 102, which is lovely. After getting all these 110, 112, 113, 114 degree days. Those are official temps, by the way. Some people will say it's 118 or 119. I don't know where they're getting that, but if you get the official weather temperatures, I don't think we've gone over 115. Anyhow. And no, it does not. It's never been 120 degrees at 3 in the morning. I've lived in the Mojave Desert my entire life. I've never seen 120 degrees at 3 in the morning, so don't believe that bullshit either. I've seen 100 degrees. I've seen 105 degrees at 3 in the morning. I've never seen 120. We've only hit 120, I think, once or twice during the daytime high. And that was last year and the year before, I think. We might have hit 120. That was the daytime high. We've never had 120 at 3 in the morning. No matter who, if someone tells you that, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They might be from someplace else. Anyhow, thanks for being here, guys. I don't know why I went off on that tangent. It's not really that important, I guess. But anyhow, something that is important to me, anyhow, is I don't know. What am I showing here? This is a little screen grab of my song I just put up on this site called Bandcamp. And people can purchase my song for $1.50. So I am kind of promoting that. I know a few people over the years have asked, hey, where can I find Trucker John's music? Where can I get your songs? Well, here it is. So I found this thing here. I put the I'm calling it When Evil Men Die. You know, the Pissing on Your Grave song. I put that up there. So if anyone's interested, I did put the link in the chat. It's also in the description, the show description. So if anyone's interested in buying that song, and even if you don't want to buy it, at least go click on it, and because you can click on it and you can play it on there. Because I checked, I just set this thing up last night, I guess, but there's like 0 watches, 0 plays. So if for no other reason, or even if you're not going to buy it, at least go on there and tap it or click it or whatever it is we're doing to these things. You know, make me feel like the thing's not invisible, or let me know the thing works. So find the link. I've got it in the chat. I've got it in the description. And you can just go and just click on it. You don't even have to buy it if you don't want to. But at least let me get some clicks on there, you know? Is that asking too much? Is it asking too much? Now, I do see we got 2 out of 5 on the goals. Yippee! I think it was David Weiss from Denver, and who's the other one? Belfast Bob, perhaps? I don't know. I hate to touch everything because then everything goes all haywire. But thank you so much. And when I scroll to you, you will get your proper yippies. Okay, you will. And the reason I put the goal up so early is because I actually have a goal button. Remember the last few shows? For me, on my end, there's a little thing where I have to click it in case you guys don't understand, you know, or you don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm not articulating it well enough. In order for me to set a goal, I have to tap on the little thing that says goal. And that button, or whatever you want to call it, has not been there for the last few shows. Now today, all of a sudden, it shows up. But then when I went from top messages to all messages, then it disappeared. And I was like, shit. So then I went ahead and went out of the YouTube app or YouTube channel and came back in. And then the gold thing was back again. And so I thought, it was on top messages because that's the default. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead. I'll just make the goal right now before the thing disappears again. So that's why, because usually I don't like this. I set the goal, you know, after the show starts and everything. But so anyhow, I went ahead and set the goal while I think the intro was playing, I guess I don't even know. I guess the intro was playing. I don't even know. But And so there it is. So we got the gold on there. So thank you so much. We got 2 yippies coming up. Yippee hippies. And you guys will get your proper yippies as soon as I scroll down to it. But yeah, if you want to listen to that song, you can go find that link. I've got it in the chat, like I said, and in the description. And you can go on there and at least play it. At least click on it, and then at least get me some views on there. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. Paul Burrows was first in the chat. I Peopled Yesterday is here, or was the first. Brooklyn SJU Trixie LaRue is in the chat, was one of the first people in here. Brooklyn says, my cat just meowed. As they do. As cats do, I guess Brooklyn's going to dance class. All right, get some dancing in. I don't know. Paul Burrows says it's 44 degrees in St. Maries, Idaho this morning. A little brisk, a little chilly. WW is here greeting trucksters. Apparently doesn't like the term trucklers. Just thinks it's silly. W says it's 69 in Rockford with thunderstorms. I heard some more thunder last night. I don't know if you guys saw my video that I posted a couple days ago where we got rain. Had the monsoon come through here. It knocked out my power for 6 freaking hours. The first 4 hours weren't too bad, but then around the 5th and 6th hour, it started getting really hot in here. And I didn't open the window or the door because it was still hotter outside, even though we were getting the monsoons. Because sometimes, I remember 3 years ago, we had a really big monsoon season. And it was cooling things down nice. Like it would go from over 100 down to like the 70s. It was nice. This monsoon we got the other day, it didn't do that. It was still like 105, 108. So there was no sense in me really opening up anything because there was no cool air to be gotten. But yeah, 6 hours, and finally we got the power back on. And then yesterday, I was out walking a little bit. And I could feel it was a little bit overcast. It wasn't real super cloudy, but I could feel a couple sprinkles, like it was blowing in, from somewhere. And then a little later, I was in the house, and then I heard thunder again. So we got some more thunder. We might have got a little bit of light, a little bit of rain, but not very much, I guess. But not enough to refill Lake Mead, apparently. I was hoping that one rainstorm would fill it back up, but nope, didn't happen. Damon Dog, the big old dog. Damon Dog, the big old dog. Damon Dog, the big old dog is here. Hey, Damon Dog, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Aaron's here. Hello, Aaron. There's Aaron. Yeah, I saw Aaron. Hello, Aaron. I Peopled Yesterday is here. David Weiss from Denver. There's David Weiss. I will get you your proper yippee as soon as I get to it. David Weiss says 93 in Denver. Now maybe some rain. Just skipping down. Lots of greetings going back and forth. Belfast Bob is here. Hey, Belfast Bob. Good to see you. Hey, Slava Ukraini, the Mad Mac. Slava Ukraini. Josh Sees is here. Always good to see Josh Sees. Man of the theater. Josh Sees. Quite the performer, I hear. Both in stage and music. Maulio is here. Hey, Maulio. Maulio's here. I do see another one. Yippee. Go. I'll give you a quick yippee to DPD. I'll read your super chats as soon as I get down there. But it looks like I think we got David Weiss, Belfast Bob, and DPD coming in. So thank you guys so much. 3 out of 5 on the goal. Belfast Bob was in a taco truck that Trump escaped. He made his escape in a truck. It would be cool. It would be funny if it was a taco truck. I think it was a laundry truck or something, or linens or something goofy. Michelle is here. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you. I'm humming the Damon Dog song, and now it's in my head. It's in my head. All right, scrolling down. I am scrolling. I'm coming to the very first super chat. So there's a yippee for David Weiss. I'll give you a thumbs up and a heart. $2 super chat, and it's got some sort of emoji. I don't even know what it is. My eyes aren't good enough to see what that is. Oh, is this some sort of... Oh, I think it's a smiley face with like a cowboy hat or something like that. I think that's got one of them cowboy hat smiley faces. Well, thank you, David Weiss. I appreciate you. DPD says, and yet every single one of these motherfuckers has bent down and stood up to lick the taint of the orange pedophile. Too harsh. I don't know what that is. But that's in reference, I'm pretty sure, to the intro. The clip where they all knew, and all the things they were saying about Trump. And yeah, they all knew. And now they're all bending the knee to him because he kicked their ass. The old adage, if you can't beat them, join them, comes to mind. In the 2015 and the 2016 election, the primaries, that's what they were saying about him back then. Most of those clips are from that time. And then as they were going through the primaries, and one by one, all those guys that were running for president along with Trump were all dropping out. They were dropping like flies. They saw that no matter what, he had the momentum. He had MAGA. He created MAGA. He created this base, this really unbeatable base of maggots. And, when you've got a presidential candidate where a tape comes out where that candidate is talking about just going up and grabbing women by the pussy and just start kissing them, basically, talking about sexual assault, and yet his popularity kept getting bigger and bigger, and he kept winning more and more primaries by bigger and bigger margins. They saw the writing on the wall, and they're like, well, we can either continue to try to oppose this freight train and get run over by it, or we can join up and keep our political careers alive, I guess. That was their options. I would like to think that if it was me, I would have said, fuck it. If this is what I got to do to stay in politics, then it ain't worth it. But hey, that's easy for me to say because I'm not there. But I mean, these guys make millions of dollars through all their insider trading. And then if they do leave politics and go out and become lobbyists, they'll make millions more. I mean, so it's a very lucrative. It's just a lucrative business for these motherfuckers. They really don't give a fuck about the American people. They really, really don't. 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 I was trying to get a bit of a Spice Girl thing in there, and I don't know if that worked or not. DPD says, this fucking bitch always holding a pen in her hand. I'm convinced she uses it as leverage to hold her head up. Are you talking about the clip with Al Sayed? You guys didn't like her, did you? Hey, okay. So here's I put the link to the Bandcamp. So if you want to go check out the song, there's the link. So we got a link there, and there's also in the description at the bottom, the short description. Aaron West, my custom wedding shoes from Converse just arrived. Oh, that's exciting. Those are going to be cool. Paul Burrows, I just got my hospital bill for 3 days in the hospital. $205,000. Oh my God! And that's what Aaron says. Oh my God. I hope. Were you covered? Is insurance? Insurance is going to pay for that, right? I got a feeling the answer is no. Oh God! And then you wonder why all those English people don't want to come here, because they know they're better off over there in England. In England, with their national health care. Canadians are better off with their national health care. David Weiss, I just got Home Chef food box. I was thinking, I have tried, I tried, was it Factor? I tried that. I didn't really like it. I used to send, when I was on the road, I used to send my kids, was it Home Fresh or whatever it was called? And I never ate one because I was always, I was sending it to them. I think they liked them. I just wanted to make sure they had food, so I would send them those. But I never got it for myself. But I've been thinking about maybe trying one again. I don't know. I kind of like getting my own groceries, though. Oh, yeah. So Big Hook, I think DPD was talking about Kristen Welker. Here's Big Hook says, Kristen Welker trying to rage bait BS to claim the socialist fear-mongering. What a duplicitous bitch. Her ascendance after Todd is just the same Republican slant BS posing as journalism. Well, I don't know. I mean, at least she wasn't just lobbing softballs up, I mean, if you should ask tough questions. And I think that El Sayed answered it perfectly. And I think that's good for him. That's a good test for him because it's not going to get any easier as we get closer and closer to November. He's going to be asked those type of things over and over again. So this is good for him. This is good that he's not getting lobbed softballs. And we can see what he's about. We can see how he handles it. And I thought he handled it beautifully. So if nothing else, we owe Kristen Welker a debt of gratitude. There's a term for that when you reverse letters and shit. For asking that and then letting him answer it, like if he was on Fox News, they probably would have cut his answer out or talked over him or something. Big Cook wonders where Jolie is, if Aaron is flying solo. Now I did mean, and I forgot, I needed to send myself a reminder to send you guys a reminder, to send Aaron and Jolie a reminder about the new start time. And I forgot. But you guys are here, so thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm gonna change to 11 a.m. I think it's worked out really good. I started the show pretty much at 11:02. I could have started at 11, I think, but I was doing something. But I think the 11 o'clock time is going to be better for me. It might not be better for Jolie and Aaron, though. I know you guys have lives to lead and things to do, but whatever you guys, whatever time you can be here is great. If you have other stuff to do, I completely understand. So, but yeah, we're here at 11. I think it's better for me as far as me being able to get up and do things and prep for the show. It's not so good now. I'm going head to head against Boston Brian, who's on right now. and I have him on my TV. I gave him a thumbs up. Hopefully, more people will learn how to work 2 devices at once. I don't know. Jolie says, "Hey everyone, I'm out and about. We'll check back when I can." Thank you, Jolie. I've been meaning to ask Jolie how that CPAP is going. Someone said that you said that, or she said that she's getting 6 straight hours of sleep a night, which is, I think, a vast improvement from what I've heard Jolie talk about her sleeping thing. So hopefully the CPAP is giving her good night's sleep. Now we did have Jolie and Aaron here. I don't know if we currently have them in here. So we'll have to hold off on the thing that I do to do what we do. Who's the 53%? I think that was what, for the CNN poll or whatever, or the CNN channel. I don't know if it was a CNN poll or not. That 53%, that was in July of 2024, going into the 2024 election. That was, I believe, right? And that was the popularity that he had on the, I think it was on Iran issue. And then since then, it's dropped to what, 23% or whatever. Because if you remember, in 2024, he was saying he was going to be no more wars, no new wars, and all this kind of shit. And then what did he do? He just started a war with Iran, like an idiot. And now, did I read correctly? Did I understand correctly? Trump is demanding that Iran pay us reparations. Did I hear that right? So let me get this straight. You unnecessarily and illegally bomb a country, and I think on day one is you kill a whole school full of schoolgirls, young schoolgirls. That was just the beginning. And then you want Iran to pay us back? Do you realize how crazy that makes you sound, Trump? I mean, come on. Here's a lady. I saw this meme. She's a judge, right? Judge Patricia Millett just blocked Trump's $400 million ballroom. She wrote that every president is a temporary tenant, not the owner. Of the White House. Trump kept building anyway, defying an earlier court order. Millett reminded him the White House belongs to the country, not to him. Thank you, Judge Millett, for standing your ground. I'm not sure if it's done much good, because he still builds anyway, or tears it down and just does what he wants. Why aren't we impeaching this motherfucker? Impeach this motherfucker. He's got there's so many crimes. Just pick one and impeach his ass. And keep impeaching his ass. Just keep impeaching his ass. When we take back the House in November, and the new Congress is seated in January 2027, I say on day one, impeach his ass. On day one, in January, when the new Congress is sworn in, I say impeach this motherfucker's ass. Now, I know there's a difference between impeachment and removal. The actual removal takes what, 2/3 of the Senate or some shit. I realize there's more to removing than just impeaching, but just impeaches that. Just keep impeaching him. There's so many things that we can impeach him on. Belfast Bob, 8 hours ahead in Ireland. He's 8 hours ahead in Ireland. That's Belfast Bob's Island, Ireland. 7:28 p.m. for Ireland, for people in Ireland. There you go. There you go. Big Bob says it's 11:28. So I believe I'm about 25 minutes or something behind. 25 minutes, that's not too bad, is it, guys? 25 minutes isn't too bad, I don't think. Michelle, we had another storm last night in Phoenix. Thunderstorm didn't last long. Belfast Bob, up in Ireland, they've had no rain for a month. That must be like a serious drought. So now I'm coming to Surrender Monkey. Did I skip David White? No, David White had the emoji, the cowboy hat. Okay, so I didn't skip that. So number 2, super chat, yippee to Surrender Monkey. It wasn't Belfast Bob, it was Surrender Monkey. I saw the pounds and I thought, yeah, it's 5 pounds. Surrender Monkey said, he said rim. Yes, the outer rim, otherwise known as Boulder Highway. It's a bit funny, isn't it? To hear an old chap say rim. I don't know what it brings to your mind. I don't know if I want to know what's going on in your mind, Senator Monkey. Senator Monkey? Senator Surrender Monkey. But thank you very much. And I think that I did play a clip that had some British folks speaking, and I think it pretty much confirms that my accent is spot on, because I sound exactly like those people in the clip. You can go back and play it. You can check it out for yourself. I sound exactly like one of those people. But thank you, Surrender Monkey. We're now 4 out of 5 on the goal. We're going to make that goddamn goal. I just know it. I just know we're going to make that fucking goal. Paul Burrows, the climate changes 4 times a year. Yeah, but we've been getting weird climates. There's the other. Aaron put the link again. Thank you so much, Aaron. There's When Evil Men Die. It's on Bandcamp. I think it's $1.50, but I think there's an option where you could pay less if you want. I think, or more if you want. But you could just go on there and just click on it and play it, and give me some plays, give me some clicks. You don't even have to buy it, you don't want to. It's a free country. It's a free world. As one of the Brits in that clip said, there's freedom all over the world. Big Hook says, Mother Nature is telling us we need to change how we generate energy, and to protect what's left of her ecosystem that removes the carbon dioxide we produce in excess. We haven't been good caretakers. No, we have not. And the earth will shake us off like bad fleas if we don't start being better caretakers. The earth will just get rid of us, and the earth will survive. But will we survive? That's the question. Will human beings survive? David Wise, happy truckerversary. Yippee. You're getting another yippee there. 8 months truckerversary for David Weiss. Dave says goal goes away, so does milestone. Chat weird. Well, it only stays up for so long. When you do a goal, and then you're talking about like on the top, and it'll show the little thing. Yeah, that's the way it is on every single YouTube channel. It just and if you want it to stay on there longer, then you have to donate more. The bigger the donation, the longer it stays up. Just saying. I'm just putting that out there. Anywho, Petrazi is here. Thank you so much. Shredder Monkey says, "Holy fuck! What if you had to power medical equipment? Sounds insane to me." Yeah, it was pretty bad, but it's pretty rare that happens. Like we've had some power outages and usually it goes right back on, or it's just sometimes within a half an hour or something. This was the longest I think I've ever had the power go out in years and years and years. You know. So anyhow, welcome to today's Tuesday Talk Time with Trucker John. Trucker John, look at that. Don't forget new times, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Look at the new gear, my little AI rendered image of myself. Got that new TJL gear. We're working on the store. We got the new merch store. It's coming along. I'm going to be debuting that real soon. If you want to get you some TJL merch, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers. Like I said before, well, no, I shouldn't say this because it was a joke. I don't think there's going to be any Trucker John butt plugs. I know, sadly, I don't believe there will be any Trucker John butt plugs available. I'm having a hard time finding some place to make that. So, but anyhow, coffee mug, stickers, you name it. We're gonna have it on there. So look for that soon. But if that merch does about as well as my song does, then I'm gonna be in trouble, I guess. Big Hook says you were forced to cope without AC for 6 hours. It must have been miserable. Like I said, the first 4 hours wasn't too bad. It stayed. This is actually a pretty well, I guess, insulated apartment because it. Like even when I go to work, I'll just shut the AC off when I'm gone, and then I'll come back. And when I come in the house, it still feels cool. Of course, it's because it'll still be 100 degrees out, even when I come home at 2 or 3 in the morning. It'll still be 100, around 100, or it might dip down into the 90s or whatever. But so of course, it's going to feel cooler in here, I guess, but it still feels, pretty nice. So, like I said, the first 4 hours, though, weren't too bad. And then it started, I noticed it started getting hot. Kind of hot. But if I had been outside and walked in, it would have felt okay. Anyhow, I'm just now getting to DPD's $20 super chat. Yippee, DPD. Thank you so much. There's a thumbs up for you and a heart. DPD says, okay, now here we go. Here we go. This is DPD's super chat. Explain how Teddy Gillibrand, the 22-year-old son of Kirsten, managed to raise $30 million in June 2026 to launch a startup crypto, I guess, company. Is that what that means? Called APEC. Not APAC, but APEC. The company is now valued at $300 million. Mama loves her crypto. I don't know anything about crypto. Was this in? Is this in crypto money? Was this $30 million? Was that 30 million crypto dollars? I think that's all just fake money anyhow. So I don't know. I don't know anything about crypto, and I don't know anything about Teddy Gillibrand or Gillibrand. Is it Gillibrand with the G with the J sound? I guess. I don't know anything about them. But yeah, I don't know. I guess when you have a name like Gillibrand, maybe that helps you get donors. If my name was Trucker Gillibrand, my song would be flying off the shelves. My merch would be flying off the shelves. I would have no trouble getting a Trucker John butt plug made if my last name was Gillibrand. Paul Burrow says it's insider trading. Oh, so it was real money. It wasn't crypto money. Okay, you I don't know. You said something about crypto, but yeah, that stuff should be looked into. Belfast Bob, $1.99 pound. Is that how you say it? Or a pound $1.99? 1.99 pounds. Yippee! Going out to Belfast Bob. Thank you so much. Thumbs up and a heart to you. And a heart to you, Belfast Bob. I hope you guys get some rain, man. Or maybe you're just enjoying not having the rain because it rains there so much. Big Hook says Gillibrand has been a corporate dim for quite some time. She gives off a Gavin Newsom vibe. I'm telling you, man, all this Gavin Newsom hate is gonna bite us in the butt, man. I did notice DPD. Maybe I didn't comment on it, but DPD says I don't trust Gavin Newsom or whatever. But what in the clip that I played did you not trust? Do you not trust when he says that Donald Trump spent nearly $1 billion on that Qatar plane and then cut Medicaid and cut SNAP benefits and cut insurance premium subsidies? You don't trust that? It's true. He didn't say anything that wasn't true. I don't know why you don't trust him. What has Gavin Newsom said that's not true? Paul Burrow says, yes, I have insurance. So hopefully your insurance is going to cover some of that shit, or most of that shit. They should be covering like 80% of it, right? But even 80% out of hundreds of thousands still leaves you with a big bill. That's why it should just be like 100%. We should have Medicare for all. It just pays for all of it. No donut hole. None of that bullshit. Big Hook says Republicans are professional bees liars. They're bees liars because they're always buzzing around like bees. Who sell horseshit narratives. So the bees are selling horseshit. Okay. Narratives about being fiscally responsible individuals who will save you from the government. They suck off the teat of oh so handsomely. It's a bit odd phrasing there, but I think I get the gist. And they're what's known as liars. They're what's known as hypocrites. They do exactly the opposite of what they say. That's absolutely true. I guess that's a definition of hypocrisy. DPD says Kirsten Gillibrand, I guess, is heavily involved in crypto. There is a Clarity and Genius Act bill which establishes federal regulatory framework creating stablecoin. However, they would lack rigorous enforcement. And no no law is, or any law, I guess, is only as good as the enforcement. Right? Am I right? Am I right? I think I'm right. Paul Bros, 2,800. So, okay, so you got 205,000 for your hospital bill. That did, and plus, I don't know how much more for the doctor bills and the meds and everything else. And your bill is 2,800. I mean, sounds like you got pretty good insurance to me. I don't know if you're looking at a $300,000 expense, or I don't know what the total was. At least over 200. And your bill so far, I guess, is just for the hospital. You might have more bills coming in, but and I understand 20. If I got a $2,800 bill, I would just have to say you're getting this at some other point, if ever. But still, I don't know. It sounds like your insurance wasn't that bad. Not as good as like if we had, like I said, just where everything was paid. But I don't know. It sounds to me like you got good insurance, man. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. I could be reading into it wrong. Belfast Bob says 9 in 10 Dems have passports, 2 in 10 maggots. So bring voting ID and they'll get no votes. And that's probably and I haven't really fact checked you, Belfast Bob, on those exact stats, but I think that that's probably pretty accurate, and that's probably why a lot of Republicans in Congress don't want to vote on that thing or pass that thing, because they know that's exactly right. They'll be losing more voters if they do that. So Big Hook says, I saw in Wales they were going to remove politicians who lied and make it so they can't ever hold office again. We should get that. We should have that here in the U.S. DPD says, TJ, if you notice, Welker has a habit of going after Democrats and anyone from the regime. She tends to treat them with kid gloves. I don't know. Didn't she have a pretty good toe-to-toe with Trump a few months ago? I thought she asked some pretty good questions of Trump. I didn't think she was going easy on him. You know. Let's see here. Anamore says, hello, TJ and fellow truckers. Anamore's here. Hello, Anamore. Good to see you. Big Hook, she plays access journalism rules with Republicans, otherwise they won't come on. Now, I've heard that excuse for years and years and years. I remember with, Meet the Press, and those other type of shows. People have been complaining for years and years and years and years about how the host of those shows, whether it was Todd, what's his face? And then the other guy who died of a heart attack. People have been complaining about either Republicans coming on and they get these softball questions, or they don't get any meaningful like follow-up questions. They let them off the hook. They just let stuff lay there instead of following up, and that they go way too easy on these Republicans. I've been hearing that for decades. That complaint. And then the excuse that is given is that if the host is too hard on them, then they won't come. To which I've always said, then fine. If they don't want to come, boo fuckity who. The Democrats will come because Democrats, they'll answer the hard questions. You saw El Sayed answer a hard question. They'll answer the hard questions. The Democrats don't shy away from that shit. AOC will come on. Bernie will come on. Elizabeth Warren will come on. Give them all the fucking airtime. And I guarantee you, after 1 week of Meet the Press and Face the Nation and any other shows, if they have how long are those shows? An hour or 2 hours? And it's all Democrats and they're getting 2 hours of fucking airtime, national airtime? Those motherfucking Republicans will come crawling back. So don't give in to them. So I don't think it's that. I think that's the excuse is, oh, if we do that, we'll lose access. But that's just a pretext. Because really, you know, ABC, NBC, CBS, they're all corporately owned by billionaires who are all Republicans and who really don't like Democrats. So that's the real reason is they give the Republicans softball questions. They don't follow up. No follow-ups. The real reason is because those are corporately owned outlets that are going to give Republicans that type of a break. And then the excuse is, well, if we are hard on them, they won't show up. Well, I'm calling you out. I'm going to call you on that. Because I guarantee if you did a show like Meet the Press and Face the Nation, and the Republicans said, we're not showing up because you're asking us too tough of questions, so we're not going to go. And you said, well, our show is still on the air. We're still going to be on the air, so we got to fill this hour. I guess all the Democrats that want to come can come, and they'll get a whole hour of just Democrats. Republicans would be there. They would be pounding down the door. Let us in. Let us in. But the real reason, it's not that. The real reason is that these are corporately owned shows and that really at heart do not like Democrats. And they want to prop up Republicans. That's the real reason. Skip it on down. I'm skipping on down. I'm skipping on down. What are you doing? I'm skipping on down. Skip, skip, skip to Malou, my darling. Let's see. Did I have any more memes? Any more memes? I did save this little meme. Talking about El Sayed. Abdel El Sayed. El Sayed. Don't worry. I'll get the name right at some point. If they go low, we don't go high. We take them to the mud and choke them out. This guy gets it. The gloves are off. When it comes to MAGA, be in their face, don't back down, and ridicule how ridiculous they are. It's over. And that was attributed to someone named Justin Jean at threads.com. And the reason I really like this, and I'm assuming that it's accurate, is because what does Trucker John say? What the fuck does Trucker John say regarding when they go high? Trucker John says when they go high, I can't remember what I said. We smash their head into the ground. I think is what I said. Where's Jolie? Jolie, I need Jolie. When they go high, we smash their ground. Cut. Take two. Take three. Take whatever take this is. Trucker John says, when they go high, we smash their heads into the ground. I think that's what I said. I think Abdul Al-Sayed might be a viewer or a listener. Abdul, are you listening right now? I think he might be copying me. I didn't say the choke him out part. So hey, we're of like mind, me and Abdul. We are very like-minded, I think. When they go high, we smash their heads into the ground. That's what I said. So yeah. If I lived in Michigan, I would definitely vote as many times as I could for this guy. I would vote early and I would vote often. Surrender Monkey, day one, you say Trump can't count, so he'll ignore it. You can't ignore an impeachment. Sorry, Surrender Monkey, it doesn't work that way. Mad Max says the Orange Pedo was doing I know you are, but what am I? To Iran after they said they wanted reparations for the damage caused by the orange bombs. What a pathetic little child he is. Yeah, he's totally pathetic. I think pathetic is the best word. I have all the best words. Pathetic. Some people are saying Trump is pathetic, and boy is he. Is he ever? He's the most pathetic fucking human being I've ever seen in my life. Big Hook says in Texas, anything with THC could get you 20 years to life in jail, while murder will get you 10 years. And protesting a life sentence as well. Texas is awfully fucked up. It is. Texas is fucked up. I really hope James Tallarico can somehow bust through that. If James Tallarico can win, who knows where it goes from there. They might even get a Democratic governor at some point. You know? We might even see Ted Cruz lose his seat next time around. Who knows? So I really hope James Tallarico wins. Donate $3 to his campaign, everybody. Everyone within the sound of my voice, go to your phone right now, go to your internet connection, whatever it is you got to do, and you go and you donate $3 to the James Tallarico campaign right now. It's the kind of power I got. Big Hook says that Trump is a lawless asshole. I like my assholes to be law-abiding, by the way. Anyhow, Trump is a lawless asshole president who has no constraints because of a Republican judiciary and Congress, which allowed the bankruptcy of America monetarily and morally. Hey, you're preaching to the choir here. You're preaching to the choir. DVD, can I use it for my ringtone doorbell? I don't know. I don't know how those things work. Once you pay for it and download it, you can use it however you want. Mad Mac, okay, just listen to your song. Did you go to Bandcamp? The Bandcamp? Thank you, Mad Mac. But you didn't buy it, did you? You didn't buy it? Thank you for listening. Thank you for, at least I got one. I should have at least one listen on there. Paul Burrow's 12 high piece out. Oh, 22 minutes behind. Paul Burrow's had to go. I hope you're feeling better, Paul. I really do. I really, really do. So in a monkey, I would have gone fucking insane, and that would have been based purely on my dog's insulin in the fridge Imagine it was people insulin you paid for. I'd be going fucking mental. Well, fortunately, the only thing that went bad. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of food in the fridge. My milk went bad, but I only had like that much milk left in the gallon. That went bad, and I didn't know it went bad because yesterday, was it yesterday? I guess it was yesterday. I was pouring some milk in my coffee, and it was like glump, 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 and I was like, oh shit, my milk went bad. Fortunately, I had just gone to the store and bought a new fresh gallon of milk. But I just bought that because I knew that the other one was almost empty. I didn't know it had gone bad. But as far as I know, everything else is okay. Well, you've never had a power outage in England? I mean, I find this kind of hard to believe. No one has had power outages before? You act like this never happens. Now, granted, I haven't had one for 6 hours in a long, long time. But they do happen. It was fine, guys. I don't need a four. I don't. It was fine. Everything was fine. It was fine. Yeah, solar panels. Yeah. That'd be fine. Michelle says billionaires should pay for insurance. Yep. Okay, so DPD continuing to want to just shit on Gavin Newsom, who is going to run for president. He might be the nominee. Who knows? Anyhow, but I guess it's good to let's get this out. Let's see what this is about. DPD says TJ Newsom talks out of his ass. He refuses to say he would tax millionaires and billionaires. I don't know. He threw the trans community under the bus on so many occasions. As far as taxing millionaires and billionaires, Newsom was a governor. He's not the president. So, you know, are we talking about federal taxes or state taxes? And I've heard this complaint about the trans, like he's threw them on the bus. I've heard that over and over again. I don't know what he ever did or said about I don't know. That just seems to be one of the things that always pops up, and I don't know what it's about. I have a feeling that whatever it is, it's being taken out of context. I bet you if I were to investigate it, I would go, oh, I see what they're saying. I see what everyone's upset about. And they didn't read this 3 paragraphs before and the 2 paragraphs after. They just took this one little paragraph. Okay, I see. That's probably what it would come down to. I bet you. Yeah, Chuck. There you go, DBD. Chuck Todd, Tim Russert. Yeah, you knew who I was talking about. Mad Mac, you look a bit like Glenn Beck in that photo, TJ. Well, you know what? I didn't like that photo either. It's AI generated, and that was about the 4th or 5th run through, and finally I just said, okay, good enough. Anyhow, it says I look like Glenn Beck in that. Let's see. Yeah. And the hat's all wrong. I don't wear my hat like this. When have you ever seen me wear my hat like that? No, I wear it like this, like proper. I wear it the proper way. Anyhow, it's a work in progress. And the only reason I use that, because I could never make, I shouldn't say never, but it would probably take me forever to figure out how to make a thumbnail that has all this information on it, like Tuesday Talk, Trucker John, live at 11 a.m. It's just really easy to just go, hey, make me a thumbnail for the show. But, you know, the image of me, sometimes it comes out really handsome and thin. And I'm like, wow, I wish I looked like that. So I have to tell the thing, can you plump the thing up a little bit? Make me a little plumper? DPD says, Michelle, the orange pedophile considers any woman reporter a piggy. The one that he called piggy, I don't think it was Kirsten or whatever her name is. I think it wasn't that on the plane? It was one of the reporters on the plane, women, but I don't know. I forget who it was. It might have been her though. Or he's probably sent it to more than one, like you say, you know. I guess there's some sort of eclipse or something going on. We got an eclipse coming, I guess. I don't know. So I'm skipping down a little bit here. Mad Mac, I'm not a big fan of country music. It's called Taking More for the Teen, Mad Mac. But I do appreciate you went on there and at least clicked. I'm assuming you clicked on it. And you forced yourself to listen to like 2.3 seconds of it, I hope. Yeah, Texas is all fucked up. Hopefully if Tellerico can win, maybe that's that will be the spark we need. That'll be the chipping away that we need of the big Republican wall there. David Windler, Newsom stood up to ICE. Yeah, he did. So at least give him credit for that. DBD, I'm not shitting on him. I'm speaking the truth. When he had Charlie Kirk on his show and he opposes a state-level wealth tax on California billionaires, claiming it would drive high earners out of the state. Which is probably would. It probably would. That's why at the state level, it's kind of stupid. It has to be done at the federal level so that it's across the board. He's absolutely right. If you did that in California, then everyone's going to run to Texas and Florida or Nevada. Right here to good old Nevada. A lot of them are anyhow. So he's right. He's absolutely right, DPD. I guess you don't have to agree with it. But I at least give him credit for being honest about it. Not trying to give some bullshit answer. He's absolutely right. If they're going to tax billionaires, like an extra tax, a big extra wealth tax or whatever, and you've got Nevada right next door that's not doing that, it's going to be, I guess, good for the Nevada economy. Or they're going to go to Texas. He's right. No lies detected there. Michelle, they have a possibility to tax billionaires in a one time in California. I hope it passes. So apparently this is a proposition you're talking about in California for a one-time, like a one-time tax. Well, that probably wouldn't drive them away if it's a one-time deal, I guess. Bad Max says, haha, yes, I clicked on it. I listened all the way through, too. I did not open an account, though. I hope an account wasn't needed to give you a click. I don't know. I don't know if that, I really don't know. I just put that thing up yesterday, and I just discovered it yesterday, Bandcamp. So, yeah, I don't know either. I don't know either. But thank you, Mad Mac, for listening to it. I appreciate it. Big Hook, and so the rest of yous, where's the rest of yous? If Mad Mac can do it, so can DPD, so can Surrender Monkey, so can WW, so can David Weiss, so can Big Hook, so can Michelle, so can Anna Moore, so can every one of yous. You can go and click on it too. Damn it. And there might even be one or two of you that isn't repulsed by country music. And I would really hope that you would listen to the lyrics and not worry about the style of the music so much. I think those lyrics are brilliant. Those are some of the most brilliant lyrics I've ever written, in my humble opinion. I've written a lot of songs, in case you guys don't know that. I'm a songwriter, and I'm a screenwriter. I'm a fucking writer. I've won awards for writing, god damn it. And I laugh, but it's true. I'm an award-winning motherfucking writer. So when I tell you that those lyrics in that song are some of the most brilliant I've ever written, then you goddamn believe me. I could make it, just for Mad Mac, the beautiful thing about Suno or whatever, because that's what I use Suno, I could do another version. I could say, hey, make this a fucking rock song, man. No country. So you know what? For Mad Mac, just for you and all you other country music haters, I'm going to come out with another version. And I've been wanting to add another stanza of lines, of lyrics. So I will come out with another version of this song. And I'll make it fucking rock. So what should I do? Should I do like hard rock, like Metallica? Or should I do something a little more pop? Should I do something grunge? Maybe grunge? A grunge version? Mad Mac, the world is your oyster. Tell me what you want. I will make it in the style of music that you want. Let me know. I'll do it. Of course, I will expect you to buy the goddamn thing. It's only $1.50. Let me know what style you like, and I will make it. I will have it made in that style of music. I don't care if you like fucking 50s rock and roll version, reggae. I could do a reggae version. Reggae. Whatever. Let me know. Let me know, all of you in the chat, everyone that's listening to me now, let me know what style of music you would like me to make that song into when Evil Men Die. And I'll do it. I will do it. And we will have a marathon where I'll play all the songs for you. Anyhow, Big Hook says on Gavin Newsom podcast he had on Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, Michael Savage, and Ben Shapiro. That's where he objected to trans athletes being allowed to compete with the gender they affirm to. Oh, so that was a deal. And I took issue with Gavin Newsom giving a platform to those assholes. I can kind of understand it. It's like going into enemy territory or trying to maybe bring the other side on, but that would have been good if he would have exposed them more or called them on their bullshit, but he didn't really do that. So I didn't like that. I didn't watch or listen to all those shows. I mainly saw clips of them, especially the Charlie Kirk one. And it was kind of creepy the way he and Charlie Kirk, like the way he was sort of really kissing Charlie Kirk's ass. I didn't like that, to tell the truth. The trans athlete thing, I think I did see a clip on that, and I don't remember it, but I seem to remember my reaction of again Newsom not pushing back, basically. Yeah, so I didn't like it. But again, sometimes you got to weigh out the good versus the bad. And I don't think Gavin Newsom. I have not written Gavin Newsom off because of one or two things, or at least one thing. And it could be rectified. You know, he could explain that more if he wants to. Belfast Bell. Hopefully, the 70 million that sat out last election will vote. You're never going to get that 70 or 80 or 90 million people. You're never going to get all 70 or 80, 90 million of them to vote. Nor do we maybe want them to vote. Now, I would say if we could get 15 to 20 or maybe 30 million of that 70 or to 80, 90 million eligible voters that aren't voting, if we could get 25 million of them, that would be outstanding. That would be amazing. We don't need the full 90 million or 70 million or whatever the estimate is of eligible voters that don't vote. We don't need the whole. We don't need them. We don't, because some of them are probably idiots and morons and incapacitated or whatever in some way. But if we can get 20, 30 million of them, that would probably be pretty outstanding. And like I've said, and I didn't invent this, but it's a known that high turnouts usually result in better outcomes for Democrats. That's why the Republicans are always about voter suppression, because lower turnouts help them. Higher turnouts help the Democrats. Brooklyn, I love TJ's country music. Thank you, Brooklyn. Hey, Brooklyn. Thank you so much. And it looks like we made the goal. Yippee. Thank you so much, Brooklyn. SJU, a.k.a. Trixie LaRue. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. There's the thumbs up. There's the heart. Trixie LaRue says, okay, I was late. Who set off TJ? I wasn't that set off. That was pretty mild. That was a mild rebuke. Like I said, goal achieved. Thank you guys so much. We made the 5 out of 5. Like I said, let me know in the comments what version, what style of music you would like me to make any of these songs, and I'll do it. I aim to please. Mad Max says the lyrics were fantastic, TJ. I did listen to them, and the song allows you to hear the lyrics too. I just hear country music, and I immediately think MAGA, and I know that's wrong, but it happens. Oh, that is so wrong. But I guess because I've never been a huge country fan. I've always considered myself a rocker, which is weird because I like the song. I like the When Evil Men Die, and I like the show, my show intro and my outro. That they are kind of country sounding, and I like how they came out. That's why I posted them. That's why I kept those, because I go, wow, that sounds really good. But you know, I'm pretty flexible. You know, I mean, I've gone through certain stages or phases, I guess, phases in my life where I was really into country music a few times. You know. Shania Twain had a lot to do with that. But yeah, I get you. I get you. But let me know. I can remake it. They can do alternate versions. Mad Mac, I will buy a metal version. Okay, metal. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Here's my show notes today. Number 1, talk about my song. Number 2, Trump, Strait of Hormuz. We kind of talked a little bit about that. We didn't talk about jobs being down, but we kind of touched on that last week. Inflation is up. Where's Mitch? I didn't really talk about that. That was in the intro. I'd like to put that in there. And also, where's the Epstein files? That was my show notes. We didn't really touch on that too much. But let's see here. Let's go with Suno remix song. I'm going to put down here Mad Mac wants metal. All right, so we got metal. I see someone wants old time rock and roll. So Michelle wants old time rock and roll. All right, we'll see how that comes out. DBD says, TJ, to me, when he uses the excuse, all I hear is billionaires, millionaires, and corporations will never pay their fair share if they are allowed to hold this threat over politicians' heads. Like I said, it has to be done at the federal level. It has to be. Otherwise, they will just run to Texas or wherever, or Nevada, or any other state. I think it's a valid concern or argument. Mad Mac, I love listening to metal when I'm out riding my Harley. David Willer, don't change your songs; they're perfect. Well, I won't lose those songs. Will still be there. So the ones that you love they'll still be there. They won't go away. I can make other songs, and the other ones will still be there. I can make other versions of it. You know. Big Hook says, nobody is denying your talents, TJ. Your 4th of July intro was the best thing I have ever seen in quite a while. I even downloaded a copy of it. It's worth having a copy to revisit. Well, thank you. Thank you, Big Hook. I appreciate that. Jolie, yippee, Brooklyn. So there's Jolie saying yippee to Brooklyn and to the 4 other super chatters. So we do have Jolie here. I don't know if Aaron is still here. But Jolie was here. So thank you so much, Jolie, for popping on in. DPD says, I wish you could see the trees are blowing outside. That's kind of like what we had over here. The wind was coming through really hard. And I think that's what knocked down a power line or something. Animore says, I'm fine with the way it is now, TJ. My bird still whistles into your intro song. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Belfast Bog, is it reggae and rock? I'm just going to write reggae. I don't know what raga is. We could do a reggae. Reggae? This damn cap doesn't want to come off with a pin. Come on. There we go. All right. I'm not sure how you spell reggae either. R-E-G. Isn't it like A-E? Close enough. I'll know what I meant. And rock, though. So, like, two different ones? I'm using this stupid Sharpie, and I'm getting black Sharpie ink all over my fucking hands. Every time I take this fucking lid off, cap off. Look. There it is. I hate that. Let's see here now. WW says they're having storms up there in Illinois, in Rockford, I guess. Big Hook says Newsom trying to gain appeal to the Republicans in California feels like a betrayal to all the faithful Democratic voters. Or Democrat voters. But I think you should say Democratic. I don't know. I don't think he's trying to. I don't know what the deal is with the way he was talking on his podcast with Charlie Kirk. That's the one that I mainly watched. And then I think I saw clips of the Bannon one and clips of, I don't know, the Shapiro one or something. And it did rub me the wrong way. As much as I try to sort of defend Gavin Newsom, it did rub me the wrong way because it was like, why are you not pushing back? I don't mind that he had them on the show so much, as that would have been an opportunity to fucking push back on their bullshit. But he kind of just let them have free run of the show. Free reign, free run. And that's what I didn't like. He should have been a little more contentious. I kind of lost some respect for him because prior to his podcast, if you guys recall, for the last year or 2 years or whatever, he had been going on Fox News and other right-wing news outlets and absolutely owning whoever was interviewing him or asking him questions, which is interviewing. And he was destroying them. He was tearing them up. That's when I started to really go, wow, this guy's going to be our next president, you know? And then his podcast really, it did change my whole opinion of him. I lost a lot of respect for him with those podcasts and the way he just came off real milquetoasty to me. But I do get I guess I get a little defensive or whatever about it because I'm not, because some of you guys, it seems like you're already writing him off. We're still really early in the whole 2028 presidential run. That's not going to start happening until after the midterms, after November, probably after the new year. Then we're going to see the people start getting more and more serious about 2028. But I'm not willing or ready to write off Gavin Newsom. There's a long way to go, and there's a lot of campaigning to do yet. So I'm just saying, I think it's too early to start writing people off because they might have stumbled, you know. There's still time to recover from the stumbles, I think, at this point. Josh Sees is here, back here again. MJ Daniel from up there in Washington State says, I will have you know, TJ has the Silver Sow Award and has won the Buckeye Newshawk Award 5 times. Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Big Hook says, remember that recall vote of Newsom where the Dems showed up and stomped the issue away with a definitive hell no? I do remember that. And good on the California Dems. Mighty Filber says ska. Mighty Filber wants a ska version. My only thing that I can think of as ska is like very early No Doubt, maybe? I know there's other ska bands that were popular. Would Sublime be a kind of a ska band, maybe? Some of their stuff? God damn this fucking lid. This pen ain't gonna dry up. God damn it. There we go. Fuck. Alright, ska. I'm just gonna put ska. See what happens. I could put all these versions on Bandcamp. And then you guys, surely there will be one that you like. And you can go, I don't like country, but I sure like this ska. MJ Daniel, Hungarian election was around 20% points higher than their normal elections, and they got rid of their DJT. The U.S. can do the same. Yes, we can. And we will, because DJT is turned out. Belfast Bob says, "Oh, TJ, I thought they were Democrat, but do you think young ones are going Democrat, or if red stayed purple? I hope." Of the 70 million that you were talking about, I believe if we're on the same page here, I heard it was 90 million, maybe 100 million. Those are eligible voters of just that they're of voting age, and they're eligible to vote. They're U.S. citizens who are at least 18, or yeah. I believe that's what that is. So that includes who knows what, party wise, party or no party or whatever. And out of that 90 million, I'm going to say 90 million because I heard it was 90 million. People are saying it was 90 million. That's just eligible voters. And out of that 90 million, if we got 20 or 25 or 30 million of them to actually register and then actually vote, that would be amazing. Just with taking no other factors into it. That would be amazing, I think. And like I said, higher turnouts are usually better results, or is a better result for Democrats. Lower turnouts, it's usually better for Republicans. So that's why I'm always preaching high turnout, high turnout, high turnout. Get out the vote, 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 vote. Everyone vote. Brooklyn says, Brooklyn SAU, aka Trixie LaRue, says, no kidding around. I really do think your songs are perfect. When Even Men Die couldn't be better. Thank you. I appreciate that. There is, I'm so close. There's one, I want to add one more little stanza of lyric. It's just missing a little something. So I may do a revised version, not only with these different genres of music, but I might be adding a couple lines of lyrics. So if you get the one now, that might be like a collector's item. I don't know, because it'll be the original. MJ Daniel, the Highwaymen, we're all pretty liberal. Is that like Willie Nelson and Waylon and Hank? I don't know. And Orville? I'm just making up names now. Joey says, I love almost all music except jazz. Yeah, I'm all that into jazz. As long as it's a catchy tune, I don't care what genre it is. I'm really not that into jazz. Sometimes jazz is cool. It's like background music, or you know what I mean. You're not really paying attention to it. It's just kind of playing in the background. That's okay. But to like just go and listen or go to a concert, I would find that to be kind of unbearable. Let's see here. Yeah, Josh sees how about reggae. Yeah, I put reggae down. MJ Daniel says the show Crossroads is fun. My new okay, so I've added a couple shows to my Netflix watch list or my continue watching list. Okay, I'm finishing. Well, I finished Dark Winds. Formula One's still on there. I'm just sort of doing that. Yeah, I don't know, but I want to watch it. I still got to go now to season 2 of Daryl, and then I added because I finished Burroughs, and then I added what did I add? I added another show on my continue watching list. I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna have to check what I'm gonna check. What have I got? My continue watching. I've got Squid Game, the Squid Game challenge. That's right. It's not the show, like the TV show. It's a game show. I don't know if you guys ever watched it or not. And I just watched. I think the first episode of season 1. Now there's 2 seasons out, and I actually kind of liked it. So now we've got not only Boston Brian on, but we've got 21st Century Suffragettes coming on, and we got Trucker John on. So I appreciate whoever's here. There's a lot of competition. I don't see it as a competition, but there's lots of things that you could be watching. So for the 24 here, I appreciate you for being here. David Weiss says your tune. It was fun. Do Persian Boy Rap or Ozark Mountain Daredevils or the Dixie Dregs. I remember the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. They had a big hit back in the 70s, didn't they? The Dixie Dregs, that sounds familiar. I can't remember what they did. I've never heard of the Persian Boy Rap. This damn pen is really hard to get the cap off. DPD was going to suggest smooth jazz. I don't like jazz. I'll do a jazz version for you, DPD, if I can get the cap off. Here we go. I'll do jazz or smooth jazz version. What the hell? It doesn't really cost anything. Josh, she's Rat Pack crooner style. Let's see what happens. What the hell? David Windler says we're at half mod capacity. Mad Max says, correction, I have lots of country albums with women artists like Shania, Loretta Lynn, Dolly, Reba, Dixie Chicks, etc. I had to think about it for a few ticks. Also, like Garth and the Man on the Black. So what the fuck? What the fuck? You've just listed pretty much the Country Music Hall of Fame there that you have in your collection, and you're saying that you can't stand country music? What the? I don't get people. I don't get people. You have in your collection some of the biggest country western recording artists in history, and you keep saying how you hate country music. I don't get people. I don't get people sometimes. Johnny Cash. Do like a Johnny Cash version. I think the one I did was kind of almost a Johnny Cash version. The one that you're hearing is almost like a Johnny Cash version. Big at 12:50 time reference. So I'm only 14 minutes behind. I'm only 14 minutes behind you, Big Nick. Big Hook. Where is Nick Rich? He's probably over at 21st Century. Motherfucker. Just kidding. Just kidding. Well, I before E, except after C. Yeah, and then except receive. It's English is fucked up. Yeah. MJ Daniel says if Democrats do not get a full majority, it will really matter which Democrats. Will it really matter which Democrats run for president? So you're saying because there won't be any elections in 2028? Is that what you're saying? I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. Mad Max Sublime is ska, so is Mighty Mighty Bosstones. I like Mighty Mighty Bosstones. I had the one album that had the one hit. Or two hits. I had that CD, actually. It was a CD. DVD says another thing we need to be aware of is what happens in 2028. Does anyone really trust JD Couchfucker Vance to certify the election? Remember, Pence had some sense of right and wrong. It's a valid question. That whole certifying the election, from what I've been told, is largely ceremonial anyhow. So whether or not Pence had done it or whether or not JD Vance is going to do it, it doesn't. It's ceremonial. It's not going to stop the results of the election. If the vice president refuses to do it, refuses to certify it or whatever, from what people are saying that that's a largely ceremonial type of a thing. So I don't think I would get too worried about that. Brooklyn SKU, aka Trixie LaRue, says I would like to be somewhere drunk and listening to jazz. Well, getting drunk certainly would help the jazz. I would if someone tied me to a chair or handcuffed me to a chair and said you got to listen to this jazz music, my request would be, could I at least get drunk? That would probably help. The consumption of alcohol would help with the consumption of jazz. Anyhow, I know there's a lot of jazz fans out there, and that's fine, but but unlike Mad Mac, I do not have a whole collection of jazz artists in my music collection. And then say that I hate jazz. Just don't understand that one. Wally Stars. Hey, Wally Star, good to see you. Wally Star 24. I'm going to guess you're a Jeff Gordon fan. I don't know. So good afternoon, Trucker John. Great intro again. Just wanted your opinion about last week when Trump supporters booed a fallen police officer and a 20-year-plus Marine veteran. Totally despicable. I think you're talking about here in Las Vegas. We had a Metro police officer shot and killed in the line of duty. That was when then Trump came to town to Vegas and was speaking out in Summerlin at Red Rock Casino, I believe. And the governor, the maggot governor, was here, and he started speaking, and I think he was talking about the fallen officer, and there were people booing. I don't know who the people were. I don't know if they were Democrats. I don't know who the fuck they were. But whomever they were, yeah, that was despicable. I will agree. The man lost his life. He was a former Marine, had a family, and you don't do that. You just don't do that. So yeah, I agree. I agree. That was despicable. I don't know who did it, but I guess it doesn't matter. Whomever was doing that should be ashamed of themselves. And now wait a minute. I don't know if he was a 20-year Marine veteran. I guess. If we're talking about the same one, I didn't know he was a 20-year Marine veteran, but I know he was a veteran of the Marine Corps, and he had been on a Metro police officer, I guess, for a few years. He seemed kind of young. I didn't know he had that many years in, but if it's the same person we're talking about, but I think so, because I only saw one. I can only remember one thing recently where people were booing about a fallen officer. Yeah, but that's totally despicable. I don't know. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that they should have done that. So I agree with you that it's despicable. DPD says we also need to be aware of the fact that we are no longer in 2021. The orange pedophile has his own private and personal militia. The Nazi Gestapo. Remember, he said, "Stand back and stand by." Yeah, I agree. Not only does he have like the Proud Boys and those assholes, but ICE, which is full of Proud Boys and white nationalists. He has this little ICE army. I think Pete Hegseth is trying to weed out. They're doing everything they can to get black people out of the military, I think, because they don't think black people would be loyal to them, and probably right, So they're trying to make it like an all-white nationalist army or military. So yeah, I think you're right. It's something to be aware of and be wary of. That's for sure. David Weiss from Denver. I'm a jazz lover and a Fish fan, and Frank Zappa. It's complicated. I'm a Prince fan. It's okay to be all those things. You don't have to just like one thing. I don't see. I appreciate people who have a wide open likes of music or whatever, and not just one thing. Big Hook Reacher is returning soon. Yeah, I think so. I think maybe tomorrow. I think it's August 12th. I think it's tomorrow. So I'm going to have to renew my Amazon Prime Video account. And they have a spinoff called Neely. That's his the girl that was like his number one assistant or whatever. Or I don't know if we call it assistant, but because she's not she was one of the team, number one in his team and everything. She's gonna have her own spinoff series coming out in September, which is next month. When I said September, I'm thinking that's like months away. That's just next month. God damn it, Amazon Prime. Just when I get away, they pull me back in. They pull me back. Mad Mac. It's that slide guitar whiny thing that I don't like. Never said I hate. I said I don't care for. All right, but it seemed like it was to the point where you couldn't even stand to listen to like 2 seconds of it. Anyhow, thank you for. I appreciate all your support, and thanks for watching and clicking on it and watching it. And go back. I'm going to make some more versions of it, and you can check out. Maybe there's one you'll like. A version. I'll do a metal. I'll do like a heavy metal version. But I think I need to add just one more little stanza. Jolie says it's actually going pretty good. While I started, I was pleasantly surprised. So I'm really excited about that, Jolie. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well with the CPAP, and I'm glad to hear that you don't seem to be having the sort of the big issue I had, where it took me a week or two to really get kind of acclimated to it, and I just forced my way through it, and then it got for me, and then every day it got a little bit easier and easier, but. At first, the first day, 2-3 days, I absolutely hated it. Justice AZ, love saves lives, is here. Hey, Justice AZ, good to see you. Or Jazzy, as otherwise known as. All right. Thanks for coming on in. Appreciate you. DBD says jazz is so relaxing. Oh, I thought you were going to talk about jazz, Justice AZ. But DBD says jazz is so relaxing and soothing and comforting. It depends on the jazz. Some of that jazz is not soothing and comforting. Some of it is like fingernails on a blackboard. Some of it's fucking crazy jazz. There's all kinds of jazz, but yeah, there's smooth jazz. There's the smooth jazz. I mean, that's the kind that I would like, I guess, if I was getting a massage in a spa, maybe. I don't know. Says, I would love to take you guys to Winter Jazz Club in Chicago or Nostalgia Wine and Jazz Lounge here in Ohio. Like I said, whenever you're, if you're out, having some drinks with friends, then, the jazz is just sort of in the background, I think, at that point. Belfast Bob, Deftones. Deftones is definitely not jazz. Deftones is awesome. See, I'm a Deftones kind of guy. But I have to admit, if you were going to go out with drinks with some friends and you want to have maybe some conversation, what would be better? Somebody in the corner playing some smooth jazz or fucking Deftones? Now, Deftones, if Deftones are there, you're going to be like rocking out and you're going to be into the music. If the jazz is playing, then, yeah, you can let that play and you can actually, say hi to your friends or whatever. Let's see. David Weiss says, TJ, I sentence you EO. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. Maybe you sent me something? I don't know. But autocorrect, maybe we fucked that up. I don't know. David Windler, I play jazz. It lost touch with the people. Like I said, there's everyone can like whatever they like. I'm just not really into jazz. Sometimes it has its time and place, and it's okay. I'm not saying, but like I can't even watch like what was that Spike Lee movie about jazz, and I can't even watch that because it's like ugh. DBD says, stop at TJ. Luckily, jazz clubs do serve top-notch wines and alcohol, so it's a win-win. Oh yeah, if I was in a jazz club, I'd be like, keep them coming. I can't even talk. I think I've been hitting the wine. Keep them coming. Is what I'd be saying. I'm not into jazz. I just don't like it. Like I say, it's okay here and there, but it's like reggae too. Like I don't like reggae, but every now and then, you hear some Bob Marley or whomever, and I can stand one or two songs of reggae, and then I have to go. I cannot listen. I don't know how you could just sit and listen to reggae all fucking day, every day. But maybe once or twice a year, I can handle some reggae. I couldn't just sit and listen to it all the time. But like, if I had to just sit and listen to like hard rock or metal, I could probably do that. Mad Max says, I heard they were booing because of his name, prejudiced motherfuckers. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. All I saw was the clip of them booing and Lombardo, who's the governor, going, "We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't boo. We don't boo fallen officers." Which he's right, But yeah, I don't know who was doing the booing, but whoever it was, you're right. They are prejudiced. I don't know if they're prejudiced motherfuckers, but if it was because of that, then they were. But yeah, whoever was doing that were a bunch of assholes. The man just lost his life, for crying out loud. He's got a grieving family. For fuck's sake. Josh Caesar's good and bad in every genre. That's true, but some have more good and some have more bad. Just as AZ, I love both kinds of music, country and Western. That's true, because it was just, there was country music and there was Western music. Those were two different genres. And then over the time, everyone just sort of combined it. Wally Starr says they booed him because of his Middle Eastern name. I guess the governor stepped in to stop and remind them of his service. You and me, only certain people do shit like that. I don't really understand that last sentence. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the booing for a fallen officer who had just been killed like a day or two earlier. I thought they were booing because they didn't like cops. But because I've only seen the clip, I haven't seen anything else on it, so. Mad Max says Reacher is cool, plus in RL, in real life, he fucking hates maggots and orange pedos, so you gotta love the guy. Oh, the guy who plays him? Well, that's cool. That's good to know. That's good to know that he's not a fucking, maggot himself. Local issue, Trix LaRue says, I watched the movie on Gloria Gaynor on Hulu. I Will Survive. That song means so much to so many different people. She's 83. God bless her. I Will Survive. That was a big hit in the, was that 70s? Or 80s? I guess it was 80s, right? I guess. Well, I Star, remember January 6th forever. Barbara Nicholas is here. Hey, Barbara, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Always good to see Barbara Nicholas in the driver's lounge. Trucker says, hi, how about some disco for us women so we can see you guys shagging your hips? All right, if I can get this damn cap off, this damn pin. I'm going to add disco to the list. I've got quite the list here. Guys, that's a big list, guys. You guys are going to be keeping me busy over in the editing bay over there, or the whatever they call it, bay. I will survive. Skipping down a little bit here. Mad Mac, freeform jazz is when you want to get so hyped up to go play your football, TJ. Lol. Yeah, the freeform jazz is when I want to blow my brains out, probably. Mad Mac, I got free tickets to see Kenny G about 20 years ago. I almost didn't go, but was glad I did. So many artists that you might feel meh about are fantastic in concerts. The Kenny G concert, wow. I can't imagine going to a Kenny. I really can't imagine going to a Kenny G concert. DVD, yeah, my dad has a collection of John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Billie Holiday. Those are the goats, man, of jazz. They're the classics. I could listen to some John Coltrane and Miles Davis and Billie Holiday. I could listen to, especially Billie Holiday. I don't really, a lot of that is sort of contemporary music of the time, like standards, singing, standards and stuff. I can go for a little bit of that, but again, I have my limits. Bad Mac says Abdelnami was his name, and when the crowd heard that, they started booing. It's almost like I'm just imagining, because I didn't see the crowd. I never saw any crowd shots. The only clip I saw was, of Lombardo, at the on stage at a lectern or whatever you call it, a podium thing, and started talking about the fallen officer. And then he said his name, and then some people were booing. So the only thing I can figure is that these are a bunch of drunk assholes in a casino. Red Rock Casino is a casino, but I guess they must have had some big convention center area or whatever. But all I can picture is they're a bunch of drunk fucking casino assholes. Like, just all they heard, they weren't even paying attention. All they heard was Abdelnabi, and they're like, "Oh, boo!" I don't know, but whatever it was, they're assholes. Whoever was booing, I'm just gonna call it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just say that those are a bunch of assholes. Keith Polite. Hey, Keith, good to see you. Keith Polite had to chime in here. I Will Survive was a hit in 1978. So I should have stuck with my first inclination when I said the 70s. Yeah, so that was in high school when that came out. I will survive. Boop, 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 boop. I'm not good at remembering lyrics. I can't even remember my own lyrics, my own songs. Jolie says, I like Cake's version of I Will Survive. I've heard that. I like that too. I like that version. Doing it as only Cake could do it. Belfast Bob, an AC/DC 2 years ago in Dublin, freaking fantastic. AC/DC was just here in Vegas. Man, if I had the money, I would have went to that. Keith Polite says, I saw Tina Turner in a small club just as she was beginning her comeback just after she left Ike. So that was quite a while ago. She was electric. Wow. I bet. What about K-pop, TJ, or how about setting the song to Let's Groove Tonight? We danced to that at my wedding. Wow. Well, I'll put K-pop on the list. I don't know what Let's Groove Tonight. Is that a K-pop song or what is that? Or is that an old like 70s like there we go. Like soul or something? Oh, let's see. So K-pop. I'm running out of room, guys. Look at here. Well, I only so on this side it says Mad Mac wants metal, Michelle wants old time rock and roll, and then I just started putting the styles without your names. Someone wanted reggae and rock, ska, smooth jazz, and then I just put jazz, maybe to do different types of jazz. Crooner, Rat Pack style, Johnny Cash, although I do think the one I have now is kind of like Johnny Cash. Disco and K-pop. And I need to find another card to write on because you guys are going crazy with the styles here, the genres, the genre. It's a French word meaning many different styles. Gosh, do I have any blanks left? How many blank cards? There's a blank card right here. 2 blank cards. I only have 2 blank cards. Wow. I do lots of show prep stuff. You wouldn't know it though, because I just freeform it all. I'm free balling with my butt plug. No. Why did I say that? Why did I just say that? Okay, so what else we got? So disco 70s. Mad Mac, I'd like to see AC/DC 2. Rush would be awesome. There's talk that Rush might be playing at the Sphere next year. Metallica is going to be here this fall in a couple months, and then I've heard rumors of Rush coming here. I don't think that's been nailed down yet, but that'd be awesome. Even without Neil Peart, but hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Just like AC/DC without Malcolm. What are you going to do? And without Bon Scott. I think we're all so used to just Brian, what's his face? People forget about Bon Scott. Mad Matt, the Guess Who has reunited. Yeah, the Guess Who. I like the Guess Who. I've seen some of their stuff of their touring. I think it's very, 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 very small venues, and it just looks like they look like lounge performers or something, But anyhow, they got some good songs. DPD says, TJ, Sir Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let's groove tonight. Come on, TJ, now. I know me some Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't remember Let's Groove Tonight. I remember their hits. That was not a hit. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I do remember. Let's groove tonight. Okay, yeah, remember? See there? TJ says Barry Manilow is going to stop performing. Yeah, he just went through cancer. I forget if it was tongue cancer or lung cancer. I don't know. And then he came back. I thought he was coming back or had come back just recently. So maybe he had another setback, maybe. Because I know he's been performing over here at the Westgate. And he did take almost like a year off or something, I think, because he had cancer. And I thought he came back just recently or was scheduled to come back. So I don't know. The latest is on that. Oh, look at there. Stephen Sayers, Boston Brian raid. Well, thank you, Stephen Sayers. I don't know if that's an official Boston Brian raid or not, but thanks, Steve, for coming over. I appreciate you. Keith Polite, I'm partial to the punk rock era. Or punk era. Now I gotta take the lid off again. We're gonna have all these different choices, and then you guys can go to my Bandcamp, like I had there, and you can find the genre that you like. No more excuses. It might, but give me a few days. It might take me a few days. I really want to add one more stanza of dialogue. I mean, of lyrics. Brooklyn says Rod Stewart keeps canceling concerts. I think it's time to retire, though he's still sexy. If you think I'm sexy and you want my body, come on, baby, let me know. That's all I know on that song. And I had that album. I had a picture disc. Remember picture discs? I think they called it. It was just an album, but the album was like a big picture. I think I had a Rod Stewart picture disc of that album. And that wasn't even, that was okay. That song was a big hit, but I like the Maggie May days, right? Of Rod Stewart. Or whatever it's called. Whatever that song was called. Mad Max says the new drummer named Annika is excellent. Yeah, I've seen clips and she looks very, very excellent, but still, it's not the same. You can never replace Neil Peart. But yeah, she's good. She's really, really good. Robert Nichols says, Divorce in 78, I Will Survive was my Strong Woman song. There you go. Johnny Katz from Riverside. No, I don't know. Well, Johnny Katz is here. Hey, Johnny Katz, good to see you. From Rancho Cucamonga. No, I'm just guessing. Johnny Katz says, I can't believe there's no punk rockers here. Well, I just wrote down punk. It's on my list. It's on my list right underneath Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let's Groove Tonight. And then punk. Johnny Katz says, punk rockers here to shout out to all people who have heard Take's version of I Will Survive. Oh, Cake. Yeah, we talked about Cake. And is Cake punk? I don't think Cake is punk. I'm going to continue my bike ride. Okay, have a good bike ride. Thanks for chiming on in. But Jolie did mention the Cake version of I Will Survive. MJ Daniel, I saw AC/DC for Razor's Edge tour in Seattle. Go and Angus Buck when they drop from the ceiling. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Angus Buck is. Belfast Bomb, Johnny, I was punk rocker, still am. Mad Matt, Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman are back together. I guess it was a Canadian thing to love. Oh, no, Guess Who? I like the Guess Who. They had about 4 or 5 really big songs in the 70s. You ain't seen nothing yet. Boom, boom. No. You ain't seen, the stutter. That's a great stutter. You ain't seen nothing yet. Boom, boom. Yeah, they had some great songs, and no doubt. No doubt. And I'm not talking about No Doubt. But yeah, I like BTO. But I'm just saying, The clips I've seen of them on their recent tour, it looks like they're not playing at very big venues, and it just, just a observation. Mad Mac, the Ramones, Sex Pistols are great punk bands. I like the Ramones. I never really liked the Sex Pistols. MJ Daniel, Black Flag. Jolie says, my internet's making me so mad. It's been cutting out for 10, 20 seconds every 15 minutes. Goes out just long enough to be annoying. I hate the thought of dealing with Xfinity. Get Starlink. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Did I have any other memes that I was going to put out? I think I got all the memes. Yeah, I did all the memes. Dibbity, who's Cake? Cake is a band. I guess you could say maybe kind of a 90s alt-rock band. Kind of alt-rock. Right? My Cake fans there, or am I getting that about right? Kind of a mid-90s alt-rock. Anyhow, guys, I guess I should get going. Down to 40% battery. We've done 2 hours, 37 minutes of the show. I'm starting to get I don't know, sore from sitting in the chair, even though this is a pretty comfortable chair. So I should probably, my body is probably telling me to get up and walk around. MJ Daniel says, advertising for the Guess Who for one of the casinos here. Hey, man, I would rather see the Guess Who than jazz, than any jazz band. I like the Guess Who. Like I said, they've got 4 or 5 pretty strong classic 70s hits that are worth, I think, the price of admission to go see them perform those songs while they're still alive. MJ Daniel, Emerald Queen is where who's playing? Is it BTO? I know the Emerald Queen. It's right off the 5 freeway. It's a big casino right there. Just, if I remember, it's sort of between is it between Seattle and Tacoma? I know I've driven right past it. Kind of close to the port. Like if you were on the 5 and you were going to go west to the port, down there in Tacoma, I think the Emerald Green is on the east side of the freeway, I believe. Or maybe it's the west side of the freeway. Now I can't remember what side of the freeway. I remember seeing the signs for it, though. I never stayed there. I never went in there. They probably had truck parking, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But I remember the Emerald Green. Big casino there. Mad Mac, yeah, in Tacoma. Belfast Bob Knight, TJ Chat Mods. Okay, hey, thanks, Belfast Bob. I know it's getting late for you there, probably. So thanks for being here. And I'm going to be ending the show here in a couple minutes. So, yeah, just remember, guys, Let's see. Can I put my? Oh shoot, I don't have it now. Let's see here. I'm gonna put. Here's the link. For Bandcamp. And all right, so there's the link for Bandcamp. That's where you can go check out the song, the When Evil Men Die song. Like I said, even if you don't want to purchase it, go on there and click it. At least get me some views over there. And probably, I don't know when I'm going to. I've got a pretty big list here. I don't know when I'm going to get this done. What happened to my list? Oh, here it is. But I'll be adding songs to it, and maybe someday you'll be one that you like. Maybe there'll be a version that you like. So keep checking it, and give it a whirl, give it a spin. And also, I guess I could be posting maybe some on here too, into the intros or the outros and stuff. Don't forget the thumbs up. Absolutely, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hype. I got shorts videos. I've got long stream videos. Everything. If you see one, click on it, watch it for a few minutes, then hit the like button. You can share it, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Get us out into the algorithm, as Liberal Dan likes to say, algorithm, because Al Gore needs more rhythm. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And we'll be seeing you again on Thursday for Thursday Thoughts with Trucker John at 11. Don't forget the new start time. It's just going to be 11 a.m. on Tuesdays, 11 a.m. on Thursdays, 11 a.m. on Saturday. Pacific time. So if you're in Ireland, you got to add 8 hours. If you're in the East Coast, you got to add 3 hours, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So 11 a.m. my time, Pacific time. We'll see you again for Thursday Thoughts, when we'll have some thoughts. I will have some thoughts. There's a few things that I'm sure of in this world. And one of them is that I will have thoughts on Thursday. So come on in on Thursday. I don't know why that scroll wasn't. I mean, wow. There's something going wrong with my chat. Wow. The chat on the phone, it's like not moving. So Aaron is here. And Jolie is here. Just in the nick of time. Just before we're ready to shut the show down. We have, as you guys know, go turn down your volume. We've got Aaron in here and Jolie in the driver's lounge. So that will put us at, you know what it is. I know what it is. We all know what it is. We are now officially operating at full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. We are at full mod capacity, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate you. Thanks for coming on in, everybody. Thank you to all of the people who made the goal today for our fan funding, as YouTube puts it. Just thank you guys so much. David Weiss with a $2 super sticker. Yippee. Surrender Monkey with a £5 super chat. Yippee to Surrender Monkey. David Weiss, 8-month truckerversary. Happy truckerversary to David Weiss. Yippee. DPD with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, DPD. Yippee. Belfast Bob, $1.99 pound. I don't know how you say it. Pound $1.99. Yippee, Belfast Bob. Thank you so much. And Brooklyn with the $2 super chat. Yippee. Appreciate you. You guys are awesome. And everyone who has been here, who's liked and subscribed and shared and commented and participated, you're all awesome. Every single one of you. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We are at 4,560. Little by little, like I said, maybe by the time I'm 70, I might be able to open that bottle of Hennessy. But as soon as we get to 5K Hennessy Day, we're going to open that bottle of Hennessy and we're going to celebrate. And I might even turn on some jazz music just for DPD. Anyhow, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. I guess there's only one thing left to do is words of wisdom before the microphones die. Hey, don't forget about me. Huh? Don't forget about old Tough Cookie. I got to come in and thank everybody. I want to thank everybody. You know, people think of me as being like mean and grouchy or whatever. No. I want to, I like to say thank you to everybody. So for being here, even the jazz lovers. Thank you for being here. But hey, man, hey, metal all the way for me. All right, but thanks for being here. You guys are good. We'll see you on Thursday. I gotta go. And I as well would like to thank everyone for being here. You guys, thanks for coming on in. Always good to see you guys. And remember, everyone, just hang in there, man. Let's hang in there. Let's see what happens. We just got a couple more months for those November elections. Let's see what happens. Everyone, make sure you are registered to vote. Check your voter registration, vote.org. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden. But but thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. I've been listening and watching off to the side here, and you guys were awesome. Thanks for the participation. Appreciate it. Let's turn red to purple, purple to blue. I like purple, though. I don't know why. I am kind of partial to purple. Anyhow, see you guys on Thursday. All right, those guys are here. Tough Cookie, Paul, the purple beard guy, they're making their obligatory appearance. Appreciate you guys. Okay, so let's do the words of wisdom. Now it's time for you guys to get something to write with. I've been doing all the writing today, so you get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, write down these words of wisdom, because that's how good they are. And as far as I know, the mic is still going. We still got a little juice left in the microphone. All right, you guys ready? So today for Tuesday, in kind of touching on some of the things we talked about earlier,
well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. My apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for us. It's all just a bit charade. It's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt. It's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road. That's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road. Just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret. It'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life. Everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot. You're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. I don't mourn when evil men die. I don't feel sad, and I don't cry. Sometimes I wonder why it takes so long for evil men to die. But I want you to know that when you go, you won't be missed. And the ground where you'll lay, we're all gonna take a big giant piss. And for your end, we all anticipate, without any love and too exhausted to hate. Your long-lasting legacy will be one of disgrace and shame. Throughout the annals of history, your name will shrink, you'll lose your fame. And as you lay there drawing in your final breath, just know that you made us happiest in death. You will not be thought of kindly, and you won't be missed. And like I said before, on the ground you'll lay, I'm gonna take a big old piss.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.